Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And I'm here today to talk very quickly about the Squid Games. Is it called the Squid Games or, yeah, the Squid Games? And, y'all, my daughter, she asked for the Netflix password because she does not actually watch TV. So I just so happened to ask her, what the heck are you watching? And she said the Squid Games or whatever. And she's like, you should watch it. Not telling me what it was about at all. So I turn it on and okay, it's a lot going on. And I'm not gonna lie, it was taking a long time to get to the point. I'm like, come on, can we get to the point of something happening? But she did warn me. She said, okay, the first episode is a little slow, just stick with it. All right, fine. All right, so there's lots of spoilers in here. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it now because from what I heard, they are like the most watched Netflix program of all time. And that's huge because we all know that Netflix can come up with some stuff and everybody go crazy in one weekend. And, they get really good views on some things. So for this to be the number one, wow. And then I just read an article that said the guy who wrote it has been sitting on it for 10 years. He's been getting a no from the different movie companies. So finally, I guess they say when it's your time, it's your time. So good for him. But anyway, the premise of the show is a bunch of people that are down on their luck gets a chance to have a way out. They end up being invited to this place and just being told that they want to play a couple games and you have the potential to win all this money. Okay, cool. So we get there. 456, who is the guy, the main character, he's there. He meets this really, really old man, number one. And from the time I saw number one, you guys, the way he kept talking and oh my God, and the smile on his face the whole time or whatever, I was like, yeah, he's in. He's involved some kind of way. All right, so let's talk about these games real quick. We get there. We ready to play these games. They tell us, listen, you either win or you're eliminated. Sounds like fun. If, I'm eliminated, that just means I'm out. Cool. We go outside. We see this big creepy doll, and she turns around to the tree. Then she turns back around. They tell them, okay, it's the childhood game, red light, green light. Fine. Sounds like so much fun. And the whole background and everything just looks so animated and it's, the sky is blue and yeah, great, right? Okay. So the doll turns around, red light, green light. And when she turns around, y'all, and the guy is moving and she shoot him, when I tell you my mouth flew open because I was not warned about any of this. And I was just like, what the hell? What the hell am I watching? What was going on here? Then when the other one was like, oh my God, and he ran and she shot him. And when I tell you it's so gruesome, it's very gruesome. So, at first I was mad at it. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, we don't even need all this. But, eventually I got used to it. I'm like, okay, let's do a headshot. But yeah, when the girl screams in disbelief and then she is shot, I was like, oh, they not playing no games. And then the doll's eyes just darting back and forth and just shooting. It was unreal. And I was all in at that point. I was in. All right, by the time this game is over, they done lost like over 200 people. So we go back in, they end up taking a vote to leave. And I'm like, cool, we out of here. Listen, this show is over, right? I cannot believe all these idiots went back. And let's keep in mind that it was the old man who was the final vote who chose to leave. And I've been watching some conspiracy videos, and from one of them saying that because he was the head man in charge, that was him being, he had a heart. So if all these people want to leave or whatever, and it was tied, I'm going to go ahead and let them leave. However, if these idiots come back, then we're going to do this and I'm not going to feel bad about it. And I can see how that, probably played into it. I think that's probably true. So, okay, they all leave. They're still having issues or whatever. They get an invite to come back. They come back. But before they come back, 456 goes. He tries to tell the police. They don't believe him. However, one of the cops overhears him. And throughout this whole thing, this policeman is coming in because he's looking for his brother. Found the same cart in his brother's stuff. So I really wanted this guy to make it. So I really wanted him to win because he was a little cutie pie. But it was just strange, you guys, because yes, I'm jumping ahead or whatever. I'm just kind of talking about these characters and the games. But the fact that, number one, the backstory or the kind of sub story of them taking people's body parts and organs and selling them or whatever. Why? Like, we didn't need all that. I'm gonna tell you, I like this show. I just felt like there was a lot that we did not need, and it was running so long. This movie, well, this series ran so long, and there was so many monologues, and they were just talking, and it was just it ran long. But anyway, so he ends up finding out that the head man is his brother. None of that was really explained, you guys. He just confronted the brother. The brother ended up killing him. That's unfortunate, but it was never explained who the brother is. I think I saw that he won like years and years ago, so maybe he just decided to become, the head guy and be included in the games. But it just seemed very strange that none of this was really, like, nothing was really explained. Before he shot him, one of them said, "You know why," or something. And I'm like, what? Do we wait until season 2 to find out the backstory of why? Throughout this whole show, they were making it seem like, okay, the big reveal of different things is really going to mean something. And I'm like, every time they get ready to do this big reveal, I'm like, but it's not going to be a big reveal because we don't know any of these people. Like, we don't have a background on the head guy. So unless it's the policeman that we saw earlier, or do you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know any of these people really. So how is this big reveal going to matter to us? And it didn't. So I guess they had to make it matter with him being his brother. But it's still, I don't know, it just kind of fizzled out to me. That was flat. And the other big reveal that we were supposed to have, besides who the head guy was when they were saying, okay, show me your face, in terms of the, when he did it to, the cop did it to one of the workers or whatever, show me who you are. And I'm like, ooh, who is it? And then I was like, no, it doesn't matter because I don't know these people. So that fell flat. Then when they had the VIPs and he took them in the room and he made him pull off his mask or whatever. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, it's not gonna matter who he is because we don't know him. Like, this stuff is not connecting. They're missing in that aspect. Now, I know I'm kind of going in a little bit, but it's a review. So this is all my opinion. Don't get in my comments acting weird. Listen. But yeah, and not to mention, I like the series. It was fine. It was fine. It just had some moments that fell flat to me. Now, I can say that the set design and everything was super cute. Loved all the colors and everything, and it seemed like they spent a little bit of money on, designing this whole situation. But from what we hear about it being the most watched on Netflix, they got their money back tenfold. All right, what's the next game? All right, next game is Honeycomb. And what happened here is 456 ended up, when he went back, or when he went initially, he saw an old friend or maybe a cousin or something, because he spoke like they grew up together. He knew his mom really well, and I don't know, he was constantly praising him. So maybe it was a family member, maybe just a super close friend. But they run into each other there. They even leave and come back, and they're both still there. So the cousin, or whoever, we'll just call him cousin. The cousin ends up finding out that they were making sugar and stuff all night long. So he's trying to figure out what the next game is going to be. Now, as they're walking to the next game, he figures it out, and he still allows his cousin to pick the umbrella, which he knows will be super difficult. And so when he did that, I was like, oh, he's a jerk. Yeah, he doesn't have your back. Then at the last minute, he's like, oh, maybe you should choose something different or whatever. And yeah, it was just too late by then. So the point of this game was for them to get the honeycomb, or get the shape, kind of chisel the shape without it breaking or anything like that. Once it breaks, you're eliminated, like literally dead. So yeah, they end up all winning this one. And when I say all, I mean 456, the old man 001, the girl who ended up pickpocketing 456 in the beginning. Yeah, she was there. She's the one that saw that they were using all the sugar and stuff that night. So she told his cousin. And the cousin, and then we have Ali. Ali, yeah, I hate how they did Ali in the end. I hated it. But Ali was the one who saved 456 life when we did red light, green light. He was about to move, and Ali definitely held him up by his neck, his collar, and with one hand. So yeah, we saw that Ali was a G. But they all end up making it out. Good for them. So one of the things with this game that was unbelievable to me was the fact that they had people cheating. This crackhead, that's what my baby called her, but she was so irritating, this lady right here. But she was using a lighter, and for some reason none of these people saw them. Like, I don't know, like I said, it was kind of unreal and unbelievable. But speaking of this lady, I was so happy when she finally died. Isn't that rude? It's so rude, but I don't care. And I was so pissed off when she didn't have a partner and everybody just knew she was about to die. And then when they come back, she's sitting on the bed like, oop, I made it out. And I'm like, no. All right, and so game number 3 was tug of war. Pay no attention to this picture. I just could not find a picture of the tug of war. But again, in the conspiracy theory video that I watched, they pointed out the fact that the old man was the one who told them how to win. He told them the strategy on what to do to win. So he made sure that his team won this game. So again, everyone that I named before, they they were on the team and they won. And I think every time they picked teams, it was just crazy because nobody wanted women, nobody wanted old people, and yeah, it was just bananas. It tugged at your heart a little bit for all this stuff. All right, game number 3, marbles. And with marbles, you had, was it 11, 10 or 11 marbles, something like that. And whoever ended with all the marbles won. And you had to play games to get the marbles. They didn't say what kind of game you had to play or anything. So in the end, what cousin did to Ali broke my heart. And then it was very, I guess it was sweet how they had the 2 girls together and they tried to give them a whole backstory. And again, this is where I was saying all these monologues and them having these big discussions, it was just too much and too long. But okay, we ended up liking this little girl. So by the time it was time for her to get killed, we kind of felt it kind of hit us in the heart. And of course, when they did Ali, I hated it. And I just hated that his heart was broken before it happened. So I think more than the fact that he was killed, when he realized what dude did to him, I was just like, oh, you freaking jerk. Then, believe it or not, you guys, when they killed the old man, or supposedly killed the old man, I felt nothing. I didn't. I was just like, okay. And in those scenes, it was just very interesting that 456 was trying to play him. But I mean, at this time, it just becomes like every man for himself, like self-perseverance, like that's what's going to happen. So I wasn't mad at him, but it was very interesting that the old man let him know, oh, I know you're trying to play me this whole time. So see what I'm trying to do to you. And 456 is like, oh, that's not fair. Yeah, I know it's not fair. The same way it's not fair that you've been trying to play me this whole time and I'm not stupid. So got my life from that. But yeah, this one was the one that it took the freaking longest, but we got it. Like the whole touching scenes and all that, we got it. Game number 4 is stepping stones. Glass stepping stones, actually, it's called. And when I tell y'all, this was my favorite. It really was. Because all the arguing, all the bickering, all the back and forth, all the playing each other, I died laughing through this whole game. Like, this was my favorite. The fact that the guy was sitting there and he knew how to tell the difference between the tempered glass and the regular glass, and they're like, why didn't you say anything? I'm trying to win. Like, all of that, loved it. When the crackhead lady took the bully guy and they fell together, got my life. So yeah, this was my favorite game out of all of them. And we have who's left standing. We have the pickpocket, 456, and cousin. So in the very end, when they have their steak dinners, and I felt so bad for the pickpocket girl because she couldn't eat because she, was very injured from the glass and everything. I was like, oh, poor thing. And then when the cousin came and ended up slitting her throat and stuff, I just could not stand him. Throughout the whole thing, I could not stand him. But yeah, when they finally got to the last game, which I think it was actually called the Squid Game. Hold on, no, I can't see for sure. It's gone. But I think it was called the Squid Game. And, he was winning and then he was walking away. And even the VIPs in the room was like, what's he doing? Like, he's giving away billions of dollars. What's he doing? And to me, it just made no sense. Like, I don't know that I believed it because you saw what a jerk this guy was the whole time. And now you just want to quit. You need this money. He was a jerk to his mom. 456 was a jerk to his mom in the beginning. So it's not like he was just this super sweet guy who he turned out to be in the end. I don't know. It was just kind of conflicting to me. Like, I was like, I just don't believe that he was going to be ready to go anyway. So I was happy when the cousin killed himself. Great. And I think he shouldn't have won that money because you was trying to walk away. But anyway, long story short, he wins the money. At first, he doesn't want to use the money, so he's still trying to borrow 21 or something from people. But then he gets another invite and he goes. He finds out that the old man is the one that was behind the whole thing. They do this whole game and he ends up winning the game. Someone comes to help this bum on the street. The old man dies. The head guy comes. Like, none of it makes sense to me, you guys. And that is why I was trying to watch the people who would explain the end, because I was just like, okay, I get it. He wanted to play games like he did when he was little, but if you were this super sweet old guy, why did you want to kill all these people? I understand you had money and this and that. If you were that sweet, why wouldn't you just help them instead of letting all these people die? Like, it was just kind of, I don't know. But in the end, he dyed his hair red, went and got his hair done, started spending the money, gave Pickpocket's brother a new home with cousin's mother, gave them millions of dollars, and he was on his way to the States to see his daughter when he got another card or something. Oh no, he was on his way to the airport and he sees a guy doing the whole slapping game or whatever in the train station. He goes over, slaps him up, tells him, no, don't play this game, takes the card from him. So he ends up leaving the airport, and I guess that's where season 2 comes in. Maybe he's going to try to stop the games. Maybe he's going to be the new head man. Like, that's how it goes, where you win and you just go back. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, it was good enough to watch. And if season 2 comes, I'll watch season 2 as well. Even though some of it, like I said, is just unbelievable. I don't know why he would leave and not go see his daughter. What a jerk. See, that's what I'm saying. Part of him is a jerk. But yeah, interesting movie. I liked it. It was fine. And yeah, sorry, lots of spoilers here, but let's talk about it. If you guys think, some of my theories were wrong or whatever, I really, really want to see what you guys think about the movie. Did you guys like it? Did you guys think it ran long? Was it great? Was it gruesome to you? Did you not care? Are there different theories that you came up with in terms of like the ending or whatever? Explain some stuff. I'm open for explanation. But if you are still here, thank you very much. You are the real MVP. I appreciate you. Please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.